Hi, Jay, and welcome to your moon reading. I'm calling these moon readings because I think I'm actually going to start offering them all the time to where they go to whatever moon phase we do the reading on until the following. So currently we are on a waning crescent. And so this reading, I basically set the intention that it's going to go waning crescent to waning crescent. Now, sometimes we do get messages that run longer than that. But really, the idea is that you'll see some of these things come into fruition over the next 28-day cycle. So, I see some really major cards here, just like right out front and center. I really do think that this next full moon, I'm honestly glad that this reading is being done now. And I do apologize that it's a little teensy bit late. I think technically it was due to you on a Friday and it's Tuesday, almost Wednesday. So apologies that this took so much longer. But I am almost kind of grateful that it did because I feel like having this message now versus closer to the full moon, especially the outcome card that I'm seeing here, which we'll get to, I feel like you're going through a really transformational time right now. And so let's just go ahead and start right from the center. So we see the Hanged Man, and these two cards represent where you are right now. We see the Hanged Man and we see Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way. So the reason I think there's a lot of reasons why I think this is a very transformational time. But with the Hanged Man, you're in the process of gaining a new perspective on it. Could be just like one specific thing, but I'm getting the sense that it is a life perspective. It's something like you're truly going through a like rite of passage and a transition right now. And I say that because I do see the star card out here, and we do have the north and south node cards present, which we'll get to those in a little bit. But the Hanged Man, I mean, look at him. He's just super chill. He's hanging upside down. He's literally trying to get a different perspective on life. And so I feel like you might feel like this is you just completely suspended where you are, not really sure what direction to go, not really sure what to do with life. But you're also being reassured. Don't let pride get in your way with the full moon in Leo. I feel like this really comes through with like, this is ego. And I will tell you this right now, even from a planetary perspective, because I dabble in a lot of astrology. Even from a planetary perspective, right now, we are seeing a lot of people going through a death of the ego, going through these massive transformations. I myself am in the process of one. That's why my reading has been very slow to get to you. And it's rough. It's hard because it's like everything that you have ever clung on to isn't making sense anymore. And yours might not be quite as major as that. You'll have to let me know if you want to, if you feel comfortable talking about it anyways. But this is basically saying like, drop the ego. Don't allow yourself to like basically be in a place, and you might even already be there, of questioning everything, questioning your own thoughts, questioning the people around you, the situations around you. And it's a very like transformative, open mind place to be. I wouldn't say it's a bad place to be. Honestly, I think that it can be very, very amazing if you just kind of allow it to happen. Now, the magic residing within you, we see the Eight of Pentacles, and the answers you need are coming, which I'm like so blown away by this reading right now. Yours has definitely been the most exciting, I think, out of anybody I've done over the last full moon. Yours has been the most exciting. The answers you need are coming, full moon Gemini. And with the Eight of Pentacles, it's like, this is basically saying, like, don't stress. Like, all work is good work. That's like the eight of pentacles is always like, all work is good work. There's nothing that you could do right now that would set you off course from your path. And I really like to use the analogy, especially if you feel stuck with the Hanged Man, because a lot of us will like feel stuck with that kind of energy. If you feel stuck, think of it this way. There's a really great analogy I like to use where basically the short end of it is like two men or women, whoever, two people. um, they both have walkie-talkies. One is on top of a hill, one is at the base of the hill, and they're communicating. Fire starts on top of the hill, and the person on top of the hill is trying to communicate and signal and ask for guidance on the safest path down because the person at the bottom of the hill can see more of like the path of how they could get down a little bit easier from their viewpoint. And instead, this is actually kind of a morbid story, I'm sorry. Instead of taking the initiative and just choosing a path, because the walkie-talkies are like malfunctioning and he doesn't know why he can't get an answer, or they don't know why they can't get an answer. And instead of just choosing a path and running down it and seeing what happens, this person just burns alive. Where that's kind of like, there's nothing you could do right now that's going to make you burn alive, is what I'm saying. Like, all work is good work. All paths are good paths. You are in a place where your mind is expanding and your knowledge of like the truths that you are going to build your foundation on are expanding. So anything you do right now is good, and the answers that you need will be coming to you. So that's I think that's magic. Like, because sometimes not all work is good work. Sometimes not everything is meant for us, but you are just in such an expansive time that no matter what you did, all paths are good paths. And you have basically like the magic of that just being your reality. You have an unlimited amount of infinite possibilities right now. And I mean, technically we all have those every day, but I feel like yours is even more expansive right now. Now moving into lessons you can use, we see the Ace of Wands and we see show the world the real you. So, the Ace of Wands, are you a fire sign? Do you have major fire energy in your chart? I'm curious. I don't know if I've read your chart for you or not. I don't remember. But I am probably going to ask you some questions about your chart as we get to these cards. So if you feel like responding about them, do. If not, that's okay. But lessons you can use, I feel like there's maybe this part of you that feels like because of this, like you feeling maybe a little bit stuck, you feel like you don't sparkle as bright. You don't shine as bright. You don't have this like passion that you normally have for life. And that maybe is a little bit scary to you, or you feel like the passion is dwindling. And basically, the lesson that you can use is just don't conform to other people. Let your torch burn bright. Because with Ace, I mean, the aces are always a gift from the universe or from source or God or whatever you believe. But wands are also fire energy. And I see this very much like a torch, like you lighting your own torch. And so don't dim your torch to fit in with the people around you. Aquarian energy, they are not the people that are trying to fit in with everyone around them. They are the open-minded thinkers. They are the people who usually are a little more eccentric, but they're not ashamed or afraid of it. So open yourself up to that possibility and that reality. Don't dim yourself because of the people around you. I think that's a really important thing for you to know right now. And moving on to what you're ready to release, we see the Nine of Pentacles and a time to give rather than to take. So the Nine of Pentacles says a lot about luxury. I mean, look at this beautiful goddess. She's in this very, very fertile garden. There's lots of grapes on the vine. Everything is lush and beautiful. She's got money around her. She's dressed and adorned in gold, which like when these were made, like golds and reds were definitely more of a how would you say? Like, it wasn't like peasant clothing where it was like brown was the only color. Like golds and reds were very like lush and luxury. So this woman is like bathed in luxury, right? So I actually feel like you're being told to spend a little bit more on the people around you. Give more to charity. Give more. Don't do things because it's only going to serve you. And I don't mean this, I feel like in modern society, we have like these weird stigmas around money, and I could probably talk about it for hours. So I will do my best not to get carried away here. But in terms of money, it's not wrong to spend money on yourself, but it is wrong to, in my eyes, and in a lot of people, I would say, on the same path as me, it is not in your best interest to hoard money. It's not in your best interest to only think of yourself. Like, even when you are spending money at like a store or on a service or on what have you, no matter what that might be, recognize that, like, give gratitude for that. Even your bills, like, don't be upset with bills. Like, give gratitude that you're able to even afford or have services that provide certain things, and know that you are circulating abundance. You're part of the process that circulates abundance, and anything that you put out is going to come back tenfold anyways. But try not to do things with that intention, like, oh, I'm only doing this so I can receive it back X amount of times. Do it because it feels good, because you want to be part of that interconnectedness of spreading abundance and wealth to the world, and not just for you. So I think that's really the big, like, you're ready to release maybe even weird money limiting beliefs, actually. That, like, you don't make enough, so you can't give. I think there might even be a little bit of financial limiting belief that you're ready to release, especially if you've grown up with, and I think a lot of us have, if I'm honest with you. I don't think I know a single person in my personal life that doesn't have some kind of weird hang up about money. Myself included, I've had to work very, very, very hard to overcome a lot of limiting beliefs around finances. I, without going too far into detail, I grew up in a home where my parents, to this day, and I'm 28, to this day, scream at each other about money. And it's always a fight. Always, always, always. My parents have separate bank accounts, even though they've been married for almost 50 years. So I've had to really work hard to overcome a lot of limiting beliefs around money, and like it causing catastrophe in my family. So, I think that could be a big part of what you're ready to let go of, is maybe explore a little bit more into abundance. And even in terms, ooh, that message came through just real quick. Even if you are looking into like a line of work or school or a trade, don't base your decision around money. Base your decision around what makes you the happiest, because if you are doing your passion and what makes you feel the best, only abundance will come from that. It doesn't matter what the internet says, oh, like artists only make this much money, or, don't base your opinions on what you're going to go into based on what the world says, because I guarantee you, with the right intention, the right ambition, the right passion, like freaking, who is it? Lil Jon? I'm not sure which rapper that is, but one of them literally gets paid like thousands of dollars just to shout "yeah" in the mic. Like, there's a job out there for everybody that pays crazy amounts of money. So don't base your life decisions around that either. Now, moving on to goals you have recently accomplished, we see strength, and we also see conclusions are within reach with the full moon eclipse. So with the strength card, I do feel like maybe you have been going through it. And I feel like, honestly, the hanged man might even come as a little bit of serenity, because you kind of feel suspended, and that could be nerve wracking. But if you allow it to be peaceful, it can be. But I get the sense that you've had to be a little bit stronger as of late than you normally would. Um, and strength is such a beautiful, like, this card is very, because it's not just like being, it's like strength in any way you could possibly think of. It's physical, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's strength in all forms. I mean, you don't see this woman out here lifting weights. She has the emotional strength to keep herself calm while she's literally gently opening up the jaws of a lion. She's not afraid to get in touch with the scarier, harsher, maybe even what feels like life-threatening situations. She's not afraid to get in touch. To me, this woman in the Strength card is somebody who is, oh man, and I just saw something about this today, which is so funny. Synchronicity. She's somebody who is a peacemaker. There is a difference between being a peacekeeper and a peacemaker. Peacekeepers are people who don't want to say or do anything that, they just kind of want the uh, agitation to stop. Peacemakers are people who can come in, keep their calm, collected, cool mindedness, but also have the conversations that need to be had. So I feel like she is very much a peacemaker. And I feel like there's also this, I feel like with the conclusions being in reach, it's like there are definitely things that have happened, but you're not necessarily aware that anything is really stacking up just yet. Like I feel like we're going to see things really come to a head as we like complete this next cycle for you. But I feel like it might be a good time to actually take a step back if you're into journaling, meditating, whatever that might be that you like do to get in touch with yourself, painting, any kind of art form, singing, dancing, whatever it is that kind of like gets you in the zone with your own mind. I feel like it's a really good time to actually like look over the things that are maybe causing stress and strife for you and ask yourself how far you've come. Like if this situation had happened a few years ago, how would it be different than it is now? Because you've evolved. So I do sense that there's some evolution that maybe you haven't even picked up on. So next we see the energy you're finally ready to draw in. We see the Empress. And what do you need to release? So, ooh, interesting. So with the Empress, there's quite a few things here. There is, the Empress is like the great nurturing mother. She also like gives birth to life, right? So, I mean, this could be actual children for you. Not sure on that. You'd have to let me know. I'm not really getting that that's the clear message, but I feel like honestly, something in you has been culminating for so long. There is a part of you that is trying to rear itself out. It's again, you're going through a very serious evolution of the self right now. And I feel like with the Empress, it's like, okay. I'm trying to think of like how I could put this in the easiest terms without going on like a 30-minute tangent. If we're talking about like an ego death and you gaining this new perspective on life, I feel like the energy that you're really ready to draw in, when we think about an ego death specifically, it's like the things that used to resonate with you don't really resonate anymore. The life that you had isn't really the life that you want moving forward. So, in order to birth a new life for yourself, you have to be able to release it into the world and let that part of you breathe. And so I feel like that's really what it is. Like there's aspects of you, or maybe it's you as a whole. I don't know how much this transformation has been taking hold in you, but I'm getting this like big message of like there are either parts of you or it could be your entire self if you feel like it's a complete transformation, which I feel like it very well could be with a lot of the things that are coming up. You need to like allow that version of you to emerge. And so you need to kind of like release it to the world, right? You need to, I hate putting it in these terms because it sounds weird, but like birth that version of you out and allow people to see it and allow yourself to see it and get to know it and kind of relearn what makes you feel the most fulfilled. And that's the energy that you're drawing in. And I love that because this is where I said I wanted to talk a little bit more about astrology with you. And you can let me know if you want to. I'm not sure if we've talked about it before. Again, I don't remember if I've read your chart. I've read so many that there's no way I could keep track of all of them. But moving on to the dream you're ready to make a reality, we see the Eight of Swords and stepping out of your comfort zone with the North Node. And I kind of want to read this a little bit in tandem with advice on how to accomplish this. We have the Seven of Wands and don't let your past hold you back. So we actually pulled the north and the south node together. And the reason I feel like this is so significant is because the north and south node in everybody has one in their zodiac chart. And the north node is like your life's mission in this life. It's not hyper specific. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, you're going to have this many kids. And, it's not quite like that. It just gives you more like guidelines for the direction that your life started in and the direction your life should be going in. And with the north and south node, you come into this life with a south node. And they're always opposing. They're always the opposite of each other, no matter what. Everybody's chart is like this. So they always oppose each other. And you're not meant to go running and screaming from your south node. You're meant to use your south node to push you forward and guide you into your north node. So I would be very curious to know what yours is, if you know that information, because I feel like it could really assist you right now with where you're going. And it might even help you a little bit with this perspective. And that's something I use a website called astroseek.com. It's free. You can get all the information there. I'm not currently offering charts, but, and also I don't know if I've done yours already, but if I have, just maybe look for that part of it. But with this, the dream you're ready to make a reality, it's like you're kind of ready to find your North Star. And on top of that, we also pulled the star as your outcome. The star literally is destiny. It literally is the North Star. Like, you are in a place where you are actually finding your true direction in life. And I just got goosebumps for you because this is like the card I've been dying to see in my own readings, and it still hasn't shown up for me. So count your stars, your lucky stars, because it's beautiful, and it is a rigorous process to get there. But with the dream you're ready to make a reality, the 8 is showing up here because you feel potentially a little bit trapped here, stuck in stagnant energy, and you just want peace. Look at this girl. She is not feeling very peaceful. She is surrounded by daggers, bound up, blindfolded. You are going through hell. And it's like, this is why I said I feel like this could be a complete transformation of the self. Because when we talk about like an ego death, this can be very representational of that as well. Moving into the version of you that you want to be. It often, like, the 8 of Swords is the mental mind. It's like you're in your own prison, but it's a prison of your own mind. It's not, nothing is actually happening. Like, it's all up here. And like, you kind of have to let these aspects of you die so that you can move forward. So you are like ready to release any shackles or anything that's been holding you back and move toward your true north. And advice on how to accomplish this is to literally don't let your past hold you back with the South Node. So don't go running screaming from your South Node, but use it to advance yourself forward and fight for it. Because the 7 of Wands, this is like a balancing act. I mean, look at how this guy's standing, right? He's kind of trying to fight all these things off. And I see him, if this card was in motion, he'd be kind of rocking back and forth here, trying to kind of bat things off. Fight for it. Fight for yourself. And I'm not like, it doesn't have to be dirty. It doesn't have to be like you doing conniving things. Remember, we are in Libra season. It is karmic justice time. So obviously we want to keep our dealings very honest. I mean, we want to do that anyways, but I feel like during Libra season, like, it'll come back to bite you a lot harder if you're not careful. So, fight for it though. Fight for yourself. Fight for your freedom. Fight for your path. And the outcome, look at this. There's literally, out of every reading I have done over this full moon, yours was truly the most like, what a crescendo. What a like pizzazz way to like top off this reading. You literally got the Destiny card. The Destiny card showed up. And on top of that, luck is on your side with the new moon in Sagittarius. And Sagittarian energy is about logic and expanding the mind specifically. So I feel like you're going to come away with this with such a brand new, fresh perspective and such a direction. And I don't know that you'll necessarily have every single little detail figured out for yourself about where you're headed, but I do think things are going to start dramatically making sense for you. If they have been out of whack and things have not been making sense, they are dramatically going to start making sense. So I hope this reading helps you on your path. Thank you so much for your patience. It was honestly such a pleasure to do this reading. I love when readings are happy for clients. I feel like even though there's a lot of like stress going on here, it was like a really positive, exciting reading. This is exciting. I'm happy for you. And I hope this serves you on your path. Thank you so, so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And if I don't talk to you before then, happy new moon coming up in Libra. Make sure to set some intentions and find out where your Libra is so you know what to focus on. All right. I hope to talk to you again soon. Bye.